One. Welcome everybody to the 9th episode of the Hashtag Invest This podcast. Today, I want to welcome on Jay and Samara with Dayo Properties. They're investing in mobile homes here in the Phoenix metro area. And Jay and Samara, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit more info about you and kind of what you're focused on now?
Yeah, so Samera and I, we've been investing in the Valley for a couple years now. We started off with actual real estate investing. We did a couple wholesale deals. We did a flip, and it felt like real estate just wasn't our lane. We wanted to get into a field where we can help even more people and a little bit faster. So we actually did a bunch of networking and stumbled upon this niche with mobile homes, and it actually allowed us to quit our 9-to-5s. And Samara, you've been free from your job for
Yes, I've been free for 8 months now, 9 months, and
good for
it's
you.
been awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's allowed us to free ourselves from the 9-to-5 by creating that cash flow to allow us, of course, again, to not have to report to a 9-to-5, but also be able to impact a lot of people's lives by bringing affordable housing to lower income families. So it's a great thing. We're able to bring a lot of value to a lot of families and individuals, and we're able to help a lot of parks out by keeping homes in the community and filling them with individuals that want to stay there for multiple years. So it's a situation where everybody wins.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Mobile homes. Mobile homes. Let's dive into what that means. When you're investing in mobile homes, what does that mean? How do you invest in them? How do you find them? And what type of returns or how do you go about making money in that side?
Yeah, so there's a ton of exit strategies that we've learned as we've developed in this niche. But basically, it's the same kind of concept. You buy low, you sell higher, and you make a profit in between. You can buy and hold these as far as creating a note and getting cash flow on it. You can wholesale them to different park owners. You can move them from one park to another. You can even invest in mobile homes on land, and that's more similar to real estate where you have to go through escrow and title and all that. There's just a ton of things you can do. You can sell them to the parks. You can sell them to individuals. You can sell them retail.
And the way we find them is just utilizing different marketing strategies similar to yourself. We won't give away all of our secrets, but some of the basic ways to find some of the homes is basically referrals, talking to people that actually live in these communities or visit these communities frequently, talking and establishing relationships with different park managers. Sometimes they're the first to know, when homes come up or are about to come up, and even just posting, different bandit signs and flyers in the area. Basically, informing individuals about what we do and who we are. So with that being said, I would say you want to definitely use a combination of all forms of marketing that you can. We're never married to one form, but when the calls come in, we're definitely ready to go. As Samera said, there's a ton of different exit strategies that you can choose from. With mobile homes, the great thing about mobile homes, unlike real estate, is since it's considered personal property, there's no real kind of inspection or appraisal once you're done rehabbing the home. So a lot of our homes that we tend to purchase, they don't really need too much work. We're not getting into full rebuilds. Some of the homes, in fact, actually need some cosmetic work once we're complete with it. But like I said, the families that we're selling to, our buyers, they're just looking for a place they can call home most of the time. They could fix up the home themselves, or someone in their family or a friend can finish any cosmetic work. But for the most part, we're ensuring the subflooring, plumbing, roofing, electrical, and AC are all good to go, and making sure that the home is livable. And we're able to just bring them value and bring them a home, something that they can call their own. They're looking for that pride of ownership. So we're able to fulfill that need.
So are the majority of the buyers that you are selling to end user buyers or not other investors necessarily, or?
Yeah, I would say the majority of them are, definitely end users where they're actually looking to stay in the home. I would say that's mainly about 80%, 85% of our business.
Yeah, like I said before, we do run into like wholesale opportunities where, other park owners need homes to fill their vacancies. And so we can wholesale homes and help fill their lots.
Or even different investors. Sometimes we'll run into homes where, like I said, Samera and I aren't doing full rebuilds. We did that in the real estate market and decided that's just something we don't want to do. But we know investors that want to take on that full flip. So we're able to create an opportunity where we can just create a regular wholesale fee, whether they pay us on the front end or we're able to generate cash flow on the back end with the end buyer. So there's many ways that you can do it.
Okay. And then from the buyer standpoint, you're not wholesaling it to them, but they are end buyers. So are you financing it for them as well? Or are they, how does that work? Is it, because if you're just selling it to them, it's very much like being a real estate agent, but just with mobile homes. Is that what's going on? Or is there other ways that you're doing it?
Yeah, so when you work specifically with mobile homes in parks and not on land, you would become basically a retailer or a dealer. And with that license, you can now buy and sell, and you can also list homes similar to a realtor. So we can do a little bit of both. So that's another opportunity for us is listing homes. But in the beginning, a lot of the homes that we were buying and selling, we were using seller finance to create a note with this person. So we were financing a majority of them. We can't continue to scale if our capital is tied up in a lot of different properties. So now we really are focused on in 2018, just gaining as much capital and cash as we can, just so we can scale. We can really invest into marketing. We can invest into systems and the people and building a team. So our strategy has kind of changed, in the past year. We were really big on seller finance last year, and which is great having cash flow, but you kind of need cash to scale up.
But the great thing about it is, if you're still working your current job, it's a great way to create some extra cash flow, whether pay for different vacations you want to take, help pay off student loans, stash money away for, your kids' college savings, whatever you want to do. It's just a great opportunity to be able to work and find some homes where you can really create some cash flow in a short amount of time, get a good return on your investment back.
Do you feel like, so I'm going to, I guess, shift a little bit. So you're selling the individual properties, but you had mentioned something about going to the parks and hoping that the parks fill up their lots or fill up, whatever it is with them. Can you do the same thing with a park? Have you thought about doing what you're doing with the entire park?
Yeah, we actually, one of our mentors just literally last week, we had a conversation with him about investing in parks. One of the avenues we were looking at is park investing or mobile home on land investing. And the avenue that we chose to do next is park investing. So we're actually taking that route now, doing a lot of learning, asking a ton of questions, but we expect to eventually start investing in parks within the next 6 to 12 months.
Definitely. I know that parks are, a really, really good way. It's a great investment. From the little that I do know about them, you're basically buying dirt and then you're renting the space for that. You're splitting that dirt up into different spaces and renting that back to a mobile home user.
Exactly.
And so you're getting lot rent on that. There's no toilets. There's no tenants really. If you structure it the right way where you don't actually own any of the properties, but you're just providing the land and kind of the infrastructure, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. The great thing about it is, like you just mentioned, majority of those homes, the park owner doesn't own. They may own a handful of those, but the majority of them they don't own. So they're not getting stuck becoming a landlord. Any problems with the home, any type of toilet issues, AC issues, whatever it is with the home, that individual that lives in the home, occupies the home, is the one that's paying for it, not the owner of the park. They don't have to worry about that at all. They're just worried about that cash flow coming in, that check coming in every month.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I've wholesaled probably 15 mobile homes now on land. I have one I have one right now that's closing on Wednesday. Anyways, that, I mean, it's very similar, and that's if I was to take it down and I wanted to hold it, then I could sell or finance it, or I guess I could just sell the mobile home and keep the land. I could do that.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways that you can make that
Exactly.
work. Now, what about you, Samara? You mentioned that it's great to invest in these mobile homes for cash flow, but you need cash in order to to buy the mobile homes.
Yes.
So would this be an avenue for an investor to be able to come in and provide that cash for you? And would you be able to give them a return if they were to do that?
Absolutely. I know that's the next phase for us, is really seeking out partners and private lenders that are looking for a great return on their investment. We actually just partnered with another company that it's funny. We needed the funding and he needed the mobile home. So it is a perfect match for both of us.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, I think you know who that is. He has other investors that are looking for that cash flow and those notes that are backed by the mobile homes, and we're able to find the homes quickly. So we're able to marry that partnership and use his private funding for what we need to do, and it's so
pretty
far
cool. He's focused on building more investors into his company, building that outright, scaling that up, presenting that business model to as many investors as possible. And we're focused on ensuring that our marketing is top notch and being able to fulfill all those orders that come through when they do come through. So like Samara said, it's just kind of like a match made in heaven. Just works out perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. You got the product and you got the money. When those two marry each other, it's a good marriage. So good for you on that one. Sounds good. So as we move forward, you kind of got started. Now you're focused on finding these properties. What's next? Where are you going to go from here?
What's next for us, man? We're actually looking to really systemize and automate our entire business. Like I said, we brought someone in that kind of does the same thing, but on the real estate side. So he's got his real estate business pretty much systemized and automated. So we're just marrying those two, bringing that over to the mobile home game. So right now, that's what we're looking to do. We're doing a bunch of delegation right now and learning how to step away and manage versus thinking like a technician and trying to do it all ourselves. So right now we're looking at focusing here in Phoenix, making sure that this business is systemized, automated, fulfilling the orders that come through from our partners, and then looking to get into another market, whether that be a market in Tucson or even out of state in Albuquerque or somewhere in Nevada where the market is pretty similar to Phoenix. That's kind of the next step for us outside of park investing in the near future.
Okay. In Albuquerque, I mean, I don't know much about Albuquerque. I do know that it is similar to Phoenix, but have you thought about Vegas? Because I think Vegas is also one of those markets.
Yeah, there's some markets out in Nevada, like you mentioned, Vegas. There's some huge opportunities out in Texas. There's even opportunities out in the state of Florida. There's an abundance of homes out there. So right now we're just trying to take care of Phoenix, and then we're thinking of just focusing on this region, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, and maybe even California.
California's a little tricky. Just the cost of living is so much different. I mean, it's the same game. It's just the price points are a lot different. It's crazy. We were just in Oakland a couple weeks ago, and we were like, well, let's look at some mobile homes online. Let's see what they're going for. And a home that would maybe cost $10,000 in Phoenix was going for $80,000 in Oakland. So it's just a completely different price point. So I'm not sure if that's so similar to Arizona or to where, Phoenix, but
that was just one area. We haven't done research on the whole state. But like Samara said, that did open our eyes a little bit, at least in the Bay Area. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think, would you be concerned? Because Phoenix is one of those areas that this is a big playground here. we have a lot of mobile homes, mobile home parks, a lot of retired people, retirees, people that are going to retire. There's just a lot of opportunity here. So why would you want to try to go outside of that and go into these other markets when we have such a big one here?
Yeah, right now we're not concerned with leaving. We definitely want to tackle it here. We know there's an abundance of homes here, an abundance of parks, but eventually, once this is systemized and we're hitting our goals and our targets each month, we're like, hey, if we can double this in a month and go expand to another market, like I said, that is similar to Phoenix, we're all about that. But, we know it's a marathon right now. We're not focused on expanding too fast. We want to definitely master Phoenix because, like you said, there's just an abundance of opportunities here, whether you want to invest in parks, whether you want to invest in land, or just individual homes in parks. There's just an abundance of opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. There certainly is. Well, hey guys, I really appreciate all that information. Mobile home investing is something that I think people overlook, but can be a very profitable model. So I appreciate you sharing, all the information you've shared with us so far. I'd like to go into kind of a lightning round if you guys are ready for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. What is the hashtag InvestUs tip of the day to keep our listeners moving forward?
I would say the hashtag InvestUs tip of the day would just be to stay consistent. Be consistent with whatever you're doing. Don't try to change it and do so many things. Let's just take the topic of marketing. That's really big for us. You want to, try different things and try different strategies, but you always want to stay consistent with what's working. Sometimes you can't control the market. It's a really good market. Sometimes it's a slower season within the market, but as long as you're staying consistent, the results will come. How do you feel about that?
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very, very good. Do you have what's your favorite book you've ever read, and what impact did that have on either your life or your business?
I would say a book that we read a few months ago, E-Myth. Amazing book. It changed the way we looked at our business completely. Once we were reading it, we felt like we were reading the story of our life. And we were working so hard in the business and not really looking at it as its own product. And so that book has definitely opened our eyes to systemizing and really treating us as, we're employees and people are going to take over our jobs so we can move out of this role. So that book really, really had a huge impact on us over the past few months.
Definitely. And for all the listeners out there, you can find that on my Ultimate Real Estate Investment book list. You can find on the website. So that's actually number one. Michael Gerber is the author of that book. I'm sure a lot of the listeners out there know who that is, but it is a fantastic book. So thank you for sharing. What about, have you had, I'm sure over the years you've had mentors, you'd mentioned that you have a mentor now. What is the best advice you've ever been given, and who gave that to you?
I would say one of our past mentors, his name is Donnerberry. He basically taught us to pretty much run our own race, and that this is a marathon. Think about what you can accomplish in 10 years versus 10 months. Sometimes we tend to look at some of our peers and other individuals that have been investing in mobile homes for a while, or just investing period, and you start to try to compare your results to theirs. And that sometimes leads to anxiety, sometimes depression, because now you're looking down on yourself. But I think, like he said, when you're just focusing on your own race and having, that tunnel vision towards your own goals and focusing on yourself and improving yourself and taking care of the things that you have control over, you actually feel more empowered. You actually get more done because you're just focusing on what you're doing, what you can do, what you can't do, versus what the next man or woman is doing.
That's great advice. Absolutely great advice. Thank you for sharing that as well. How do you like to give back?
So yeah, we actually mentor. We actually probably 6 months ago we decided to join an organization called Arizonans for Children, and we're mentoring a young kid. He's about 14 years old. He's awesome. Loves basketball. We try to pick him up and spend at least 8 hours a month with him. We try to get at least more if we can, and just teach him and just listen to him. I know this specific organization focuses on kids in foster care, and really just try to talk to them. They don't really have a place they can open up, and a lot of times they're in a home with a lot of kids in there, all different ages, and we really want to give back to kids that resemble ourselves at some point, or somebody that we can help and watch grow, because we have mentors. So it's never too soon to give back to others.
And then just once we have this thing figured out completely, we would love to, share this opportunity with others, people that are looking to create more cash flow, people that are looking to, leave their 9-to-5 and create a business, or just people, looking for any type of guidance in life, taking that next leap of faith with whatever they're going through. That's something that we definitely plan to do in the near future.
Well, that's perfect, and that's fantastic that you're helping that kid out. I'm sure you're making a massive impact on his or it's a guy or girl.
He's a guy.
little boy. Okay, so I'm sure you're making a huge impact on his life, and that'll literally last his whole lifetime. So congrats for that. But that leads us into the next question perfectly. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So you can reach out to us at dayoproperties.com, or you can email us at info@dayoproperties.com. We're always available to answer any questions, and we love to connect with new people. So we would love to hear from you guys.
Awesome. So, and it's Dayo, Dayo properties.com.
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being here and sharing all the information about mobile home and mobile home investing. Thank you very much, and I guess we'll talk to you real soon.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Talk to you. Bye-bye.